These legendary stars you forgot are still alive and kicking. Hollywood's a funny place. One day you're on top of the world, and the next you're desperately hoping for a comeback. Here are some legendary stars you probably forgot are still alive and kicking. Robert Redford. Robert Redford is one of Hollywood's most enduring actors. He first burst onto the scene in the 1960s with roles in iconic films like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and The Sting. In the 1980s, he cemented his status as a leading man with performances in hits like Out of Africa and The Natural. More recently, he's taken on roles in independent films like All Is Lost and Our Souls at Night. At 81 years old, Redford shows no signs of slowing down. He continues to choose interesting and challenging roles and remains one of Hollywood's most respected actors. It's clear that Robert Redford is still alive and kicking. Shirley Maclaine. Shirley Maclaine is one of Hollywood's most venerable actresses, and at 83, she's still going strong. She got her start in the 1950s, appearing in a string of hit movies like The Trouble with Harry and The Apartment. But it was her performance in Aurora Greenway and Terms of Endearment that cemented her status as a Hollywood legend. Since then, she's appeared in dozens of films and television shows, winning an Academy Award, multiple Golden Globes, and even a BAFTA. In recent years, she's been especially active on the small screen, starring in the hit series Downton Abbey and receiving critical acclaim for her performance in American Horror Story Coven. Clearly, Shirley Maclaine is still very much alive and kicking, and we can't wait to see what she does next. Olivia De Havilland. Olivia De Havilland is not only alive, but she's also thriving. The Academy Award-winning actress has outlived both her sister and her son, and she currently resides in Paris with her family. De Havilland's career spanned more than 6 decades, and she appeared in nearly 50 films. She's perhaps best known for her roles in Gone with the Wind and The Adventures of Robin Hood. In recent years, De Havilland has made headlines for her outspoken views on the film industry, and she's been an outspoken critic of the Hollywood studio system. Despite her advanced age, De Havilland remains a force to be reckoned with, and she shows no signs of slowing down. Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood is one of Hollywood's most iconic actors, directors, and producers. He first came to prominence in the television series Rawhide, and later rose to international fame with his starring roles in Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy. Eastwood has since appeared in over 70 films, and his work has earned him numerous awards, including an Academy Award for Best Picture. Although he's now in his early 90s, Eastwood shows no signs of slowing down. He most recently directed and starred in The Mule, a crime drama that was both a critical and commercial success. With his unique mix of charisma and talent, Eastwood continues to entertain audiences around the world, proving that he is still alive and kicking. Sophia Loren. It's hard to believe that Sophia Loren is already in her mid-80s. The Italian actress and sex symbol has been a Hollywood icon for over 6 decades, and she shows no signs of slowing down. Though she's retired from acting, she remains active in the public eye, appearing at events and giving interviews. In recent years, she's also published a memoir and launched her own line of clothing and cosmetics. As she approaches her 90th birthday, Sophia Loren is still as beautiful and vivacious as ever, proving that age is just a number. Doris Day. As any fan of Doris Day knows, she's still alive and kicking at the ripe old age of 97. It's amazing to think that she's been around for almost a century, and even more amazing to think that she's still going strong. Her career spans an incredible 7 decades, and she shows no signs of slowing down. Even now, she remains an active campaigner for animal welfare, a cause that's close to her heart. In recent years, she's also become a vocal advocate for seniors' rights. It's clear that Doris Day is very much alive and kicking, and we can all learn a lot from her incredible example. Tony Bennett. Believe it or not, Tony Bennett's still alive and kicking. The legendary musician will turn 93 this month, but he shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, he's still actively touring and recording new music. Though he's best known for his classics like I Left My Heart in San Francisco, Bennett has continued to evolve over the years, collaborating with a wide range of artists like Lady Gaga and Duke Ellington. He even won a Grammy for his duet with Amy Winehouse, Body and Soul. It's clear that Bennett is as passionate as ever about making music, and we can only hope that he'll keep entertaining us for many years to come. Thanks for the memories, Tony. Julie Andrews and Angela Lansbury. Julie Andrews is a legendary actress who starred in classic films such as Mary Poppins and The Sound of Music. She's also won an Oscar, a Golden Globe, and 3 Emmy Awards for her work on television. Julie Andrews is 83 years old and still going strong. Angela Lansbury is a legendary actress who starred in classic films such as Gaslight and The Manchurian Candidate. She's also won 5 Tony Awards for her work on Broadway, as well as an Oscar, 3 Golden Globes, and 3 Emmy Awards for her work on television. Angela Lansbury is 93 years old and still going strong. Dick Van Dyke. It's been more than 50 years since Dick Van Dyke first graced our TV screens, but the lovable actor is still going strong. At 91, Van Dyke shows no signs of slowing down, and he's still got that same twinkle in his eye. He's currently starring in a new series called The Dick Van Dyke Show Revisited, which gives viewers a behind-the-scenes look at the classic sitcom. Van Dyke is also an active philanthropist, and he recently gave away his entire estate to charity. There's no doubt about it, Dick Van Dyke is still alive and kicking. Sidney Poitier. It's hard to believe that Sidney Poitier is now in his 90s. He was born in 1927 in the Bahamas and moved to New York City with his family when he was a teenager. He started out as a stage actor, but eventually made the transition to film. He appeared in several groundbreaking movies during the 50s and 60s, including The Defiant Ones and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. But it was his performance in 1967's In the Heat of the Night that really solidified his place in Hollywood history. Poitier won an Oscar for that role, becoming the first black actor to ever receive that honor. In recent years, he's largely retired from acting, but he remains an active member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. It's amazing to think that this Hollywood legend is still with us today. Harrison Ford. Despite what you might have heard, Harrison Ford is still very much alive. In recent years, there have been a number of rumors swirling around about his death, but Ford himself has repeatedly debunked these stories. The actor is currently 76 years old, and while he isn't as active as he once was, he's still working on new projects. In 2020, he'll appear in both Indiana Jones 5 and Call of the Wild. He may be getting up there in age, but it's clear that Harrison Ford is still very much alive and kicking. Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis, the iconic comedian and filmmaker, is still alive and kicking at the ripe old age of 95. Lewis first gained fame as part of a comedy duo with Dean Martin, and he went on to enjoy a successful solo career in film and television. In recent years, Lewis has been plagued by health problems, including chronic back pain and heart disease. However, he remains active and involved in his work as a humanitarian and fundraiser for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Lewis is living proof that age is just a number. Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple, the child star who won the hearts of America in the 1930s, is still alive and well at the age of 85. Though she retired from acting nearly 60 years ago, Shirley remains an active and engaged member of her community. In addition to her work with several charitable organizations, Shirley is also an avid golfer and enjoys spending time with her family. While she may not be appearing on the big screen anymore, it's clear that Shirley Temple has lost none of her sparkle. She remains a beloved figure in Hollywood and an inspiration to people of all ages. Barbara Eden. Most people know Barbara Eden from her iconic role as Jeannie in the 1960s sitcom I Dream of Jeannie. Even though the show ended nearly 50 years ago, Eden is still very much alive and kicking. In fact, she celebrated her 90th birthday just last month. These days, Eden is mostly retired from acting, but she still stays busy with philanthropic work and spending time with her family. She's also an active user of social media, where she often shares nostalgic photos and stories from her long career in Hollywood. Barbara Eden may be getting up there in years, but she's still going strong and shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. It's amazing to see how these legends have stood the test of time. It just goes to show that you can never predict who will have staying power in Hollywood. Max Baer Jr. After the Beverly Hillbillies ended, Max continued to act in various television shows and movies. Some of his notable roles include appearing in Love, American Style, MacGyver, and Dynasty. In addition to acting, Max has also directed a few movies, such as Ode to Billy Joe and Bachelor Flat. He even wrote the screenplay for the latter. Clearly, this man loves being creative and staying busy. Nowadays, Max resides in California with his wife Linda. They have 2 children together, Tracy Lynn and Lizabeth. When he's not spending time with his family or working on a new project, you can find him golfing or playing tennis. He's even an accomplished pianist. As you can see, Max Baer Jr. definitely isn't slowing down anytime soon. It's amazing what he's accomplished in his 84 years on this earth.